Hey guys, thank you so much for hopping on this YouTube live with me today on this lovely Thursday morning. Today's topic that I want to talk about with you guys is, do you utilize distractions around you to drown out the pain? What do I mean by that? There's a lot of people that are going through very painful, different situations in life right now, whether it be, you know, they're going through a loss right now. So they lost somebody they love, right? They lost their job, right? They're going through a hard time financially right now. They lost a significant other. They, with through a breakup, right? They lost a friendship. There's just so many things going on around the world right now that people are having difficulties with mentally and emotionally. And there's so many ways because we are stuck at home. I don't know if you're in Toronto and you're watching this, but there's lockdown. And then there's different places around the world that are still on lockdown as well, or just going through the COVID situations where they can't be in big group settings as much, right? So my big thing again, that I realized with a lot of people is that they're suffering a lot with depression, anxiety, frustration, anger, just so many shits going on in their mind right now, in their emotions, and going through shit in life right now, right? And it's just there's so many ways that we can find ways to distract ourselves, so many freaking ways. Whether we're at home, and especially if you're out of work right now, you're at home, you're binge watching Netflix, you're binge watching some shows or whatever the case may be, or you're just finding ways to distract yourself, right? I want to share with you guys, for a long time, because I had so much issues growing up as a child, and even to this day, sometimes I literally distract and try to drown out my frustrations, my anger, my sadness by eating, right? A lot of people that know me probably don't even know this about me, right? I utilize food as a comfort, right? I would go, binge off, some crackers, or, take a big, huge plate of food thinking that, like, that'll make me feel better. Hey, sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes I'm just super hungry. But, when I'm alone, I find myself like eating for that comfort. Like, and I don't sometimes even realize it. And I'm sitting there and I'm eating a bag of chips, and I'll eat the whole bag of chips to my face, or I'll be full and I'll still go look for things inside of the house to eat. And, that's another way that there's a lot of people out there that are taking advantage of, finding ways to drown out, how they're actually feeling, right? Whether they're feeling lonely, sad, angry, frustrated, right? They're utilizing food as a comforting. And there's a lot of people out there that do that, right? That use food as comforting. And when I started to notice that about myself, it's like, it's really challenging to change, because it's like a routine. It comes in so natural that you do it and you don't even realize it. But when you start working on your inner self, and when you start to want to heal mentally and emotionally, and you start finding ways to love yourself more, that goes in part where you're like, I don't want to hurt my body, I don't want to hurt myself, right? I love myself too much to, self-sabotage myself with all this food, right? Thinking that that's going to make me feel better. Where in the end, later on, yeah, I might feel good. Like, no, you don't. It's like a temporary fix, like a drug, right? You get that temporary fix, you get that distraction, you get that, that feeling where, okay, yeah, it feels good in the moment. And then when you gain all that weight, and that's what always used to happen to me, I would gain it and then lose it. I would gain it and then lose it. And it's just like, you get so angry with yourself. You end up putting yourself in more depression, more anxiety, more frustration, and not with anybody, not with anybody out there. You start putting it on yourself, right? So you not only self-sabotage yourself, you start putting yourself in depression and anger and frustration and beating yourself up, right? For saying, oh man, why did I eat that bag of chips? Why did I do that? And then you go into like this, cycle of regret and frustration with yourself because you gain all that weight after. And let's say there's some people like me, I used to work out so much and then I would gain so much weight. I'd work out, get depressed, get frustrated, run towards food, and then gain a bunch of weight. And that was just like causing more depression, more frustration, more anger on myself. And then it's just like, I look back at, my stretch marks or my excess skin, and I'm like, whoa, like my whole teenage years, I fought with, utilizing food as a comforting and then doing the wrong things to lose it. So as soon as I would gain weight, I would be like, oh man, I need to like do a bunch of cardio and starve myself in the sense, because I would just go on these crazy ass diets to lose so much weight all at once, because I was just like, no, I'm so mad at myself. I would get frustrated and want to just lose it the quickest way. And that was wrong. That was wrong for me to do that. So I was like in this dirty cycle of self-sabotaging myself, right? Which was only bringing down my self-love for myself even more, right? And it's just like, it's the same thing if this topic that I'm talking about, sharing my story doesn't resonate with you, but there are other things. There's people that would smoke weed all day, every day, and then use it as an excuse and say, okay, yeah, I love smoking weed. Yeah, you love smoking weed, but at the end of the day, why is it that you cannot stay sane? Why is it that you cannot stay, without smoking weed? What's the reason for that? And it comes down to like cigarettes too. A lot of people, every time they get frustrated, angry, or for no reason, they're not even frustrated or angry, have to go outside and smoke a cigarette. They have to smoke a cigarette. If not smoking a cigarette, they have to go smoke weed. You ask yourself, what are you running from? What are you running from? Why do you always have to do something, right? Or there's people out there that they have to work 24/7. They always want to work. They're always chasing money. They're always, listen, it's okay to work, right? But it's okay to work if you enjoy what you're doing. If you love what you're doing and it's not even like work to you and you're just excited to work every day, all day, I get it, right? But when you feel like you have to work at a job 24/7, right, to make more money, like, are you running from your reality of being alone, being by yourself? Is that why you feel like you always have to be working and chasing the money? Like, it's just, think about it. It's just like, how could you ever really enjoy life, right, if you're not finding ways to enjoy it and you're always running after something, right? Like, what are you running from that you always feel that you have to be chasing something? Why can't you just sit with yourself and be one with yourself? But a lot of people, again, use different things to distract them from facing their reality, from facing, their inner, I would say, inner demons. Because a lot of times there's people that went through some traumatizing shit, as a kid growing up. Either they had parents that neglected them. Either they had, parents that just didn't treat them good, didn't love them, didn't care for them, and, never paid too much attention to them. And then it's just like, we have those locked up feelings and we kind of chuck it up as it is. But then as we're adults, we try to find other things to drown out those feelings that we never healed from. Right. And I could sit here and say I was honestly one of them. I used to find, I used to always want to be out with friends. I always had to be on the go. I never could be alone. I never wanted to be alone. I always had to feel like I had to be in a relationship. Right. I never wanted to spend time by myself. I always had to be go, 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 go. And then again, if I was by myself, I was drinking, I was smoking weed, I was eating a bunch of food, finding other ways to drown out what's really going on up here, right? And a lot of the times what's going on up here is a lot of the things chucked up in your subconscious mind of shit from the past, shit that we haven't healed from, shit that we don't want to deal with, shit that we don't want to confront. And this is why so many people are so scared to be alone. This is why so many people need distractions on an everyday basis, whether it be smoking weeds, doing drugs, alcohol, working 24/7, utilizing food to comfort them, staying in a toxic relationship that's not treating you any good just because you want that company, you hanging around toxic friends that are not good for you, and that treat you like shit, that talk behind your back, again, a lot of these things that we're utilizing for distraction, you guys, is because we don't want to face our reality. Either we don't want to face our reality, or we just don't want to deal with the noise of the past. We don't want to confront it, right? And I get that shit, you guys. It's really hard to confront your past. It's really hard to confront who you've become over the years and really look yourself in the mirror and be like, holy shit, why do I do these things? Why am I self-sabotaging myself? Why am I so stagnant in life? Why aren't I moving? Why aren't I like, and then that could be just different areas inside of your life. Maybe you're not moving up in your job. Maybe you're not making any more money, or growing mentally and emotionally every year. You're the same person every year. Maybe you're not losing that weight, right? Maybe you're not stopping that addiction that you have, but you keep running to put other things to replace that addiction, right? So that's the distractions that we have on a daily basis, that we're suffering with these distractions and playing it over and over and over like a broken record. And every year you're in the same position, same place you were last year. Maybe little tweaks and little things have changed, but where can you say, have you really say that you have grown in an individual mentally, emotionally? Have you say that you have let loose of those bad habits? What are you doing to work on yourself to move forward, to live a better life, live fully, and experience life to its fullest, to say that I'm living life on my terms. I'm not allowing distractions to control me. I don't need distractions to control my life, right? And I said it. There's so many people that are out there utilizing those distractions because they don't want to look themselves in the mirror. They don't want to look themselves in the mirror. And again, I could say this out loud because I was one of them. If you're one of these people listening to this shit right now, and you're feeling like you always have to be smoking weed, or you always have to smoke a cigarette, I get it. There's enjoyment to some of those stuff, but that you're mentally telling yourself you enjoy that stuff, right? But at the end of the day, do you really? Because if let's say smoking cigarettes can cause cancer, lung cancer, it can cause so many other diseases, right? And harm your body and break down your body. Is that really enjoyment? No, that's your body telling you that you enjoy it and that you need to do it to feel fulfilled. Same thing with weed. I have nothing against weed. Weed is earth grown. I get it, people, but why do you feel the need that you have to smoke it 24/7? That you always have to be in a different world, right? It's okay. I get it. Like, you want to smoke it, you like it, whatever. But do you always have to be in a different world? Like, why can't you be leveled? Why can't you be in this world, in this very moment, in this here and this now, right? What are you running from that you always need to be blam or high, right? And it's just like the same thing, like with eating. Eating is just as bad as a drug. Alcohol. Some people have to always be drinking every weekend. They're working 24/7 throughout the week. So they're super, super busy. So they're never alone, right? And they're super tired. So they just go to bed after. And then they drown themselves with alcohol through the weekend. They have to be chilling with friends. They have to be drinking alcohol, right? Why? Like, why? Ask yourself that question, why? I get it. It's okay to splurge on these things that I'm talking about. But when you're noticing that it's a constant routine, that you cannot stay zen by yourself, and let's say do something, that's out of the ordinary, that's not always distracting you and putting you in a different world inside of your mind. Like, for instance, Netflix. Netflix could easily be like a drug as well. People drown themselves in Netflix like 24/7, especially the people that are not, a lot of people that are not working right now, right? They could tell you every show on Netflix. They can tell you every show. They watched every episode. They watch everything. And they get so addicted living in other people's realities and other people's worlds from watching that TV, by consuming that TV, that they never could spend time with themselves, right? Because why? Ask yourself that question. Again, I know for me, I never could stay by myself. I always wanted something to distract me from me thinking of those thoughts that pop up from my subconscious mind of the past, of things that I know I need to heal in order to move forward. Because at the end of the day, you guys, it's like that shit's always going to be there. It ain't going to leave you. Once something happens to you that's traumatizing or bad or whatever, it's always going to be into your subconscious mind. Maybe you might not think about it today, think about it tomorrow, think about it for a week later, or whatever the case may be, but that shit's still there. That shit's going to haunt your ass for life. So if you really want to move forward, if you really want to enjoy life and all the blissful things around you, then you have to really dig deep and understand, like, and heal from that past traumatizing things, and really look yourself in the freaking mirror and say, what are some self-sabotage things that I'm doing to myself, my life right now in this very moment, that is sabotaging me from living a better lifestyle, evolving into a better version of myself, me really enjoying life and living life with bliss, instead of doing the same damn routine every freaking day, getting drowned out in shit that's keeping you stagnant, that's keeping you on a certain level, right? If you look yourself in the mirror, can you really say to yourself, I leveled up? I leveled up. If I look at myself today and say, you know, I'm a better person than I was 4 or 5 months ago, then that's great. You know you're moving. You know you're not staying stagnant, right? But there comes a point in time when you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, like, shit, what am I running from? Why do I always feel the need that I need to find distractions to drown me out from really taking some time to myself and be by myself? Because there's so many people out there that are running. Maybe you're okay with being by yourself, but when you're by yourself, you're drowning your mind out, right? With distractions. Is that really being by yourself? No, you are finding distractions to drown your mind out. You're not really staying humble and grounded and staying by yourself, right? You're finding other things to replace that company that you don't have in here in this very moment, right? So I ask you guys today, like, what are some things that, you know, if you're watching this video, what are some things that you know that you're doing to drown out really sitting by yourself, really enjoying the amazing life that you have in front of you in the here and the now? What are some things that you're doing today that are drowning out you really reflecting, you really focusing and narrowing in on yourself and how to become better in this 2021? What are some bad habits? What are some shit that you know that's you're doing, or people that you know you have in your life that's not serving you no good, that you're constantly keeping around or constantly doing inside of your life that's self-sabotaging you from moving forward in this 2021, right? I get it, you guys. 2020, a lot of people went through some shit, you know, a lot of people. But there's a lot of learning curves and a lot of lessons you can learn through those things that you went through. Whether it be you losing somebody, whether you be losing that significant other, that person that you really thought you loved and hurt you, or that job that you loved and you lost it, right? Or again, there's all those things that are still going on in this very moment that people are going through. I get it. There's a lot of shit going on. I get it. You know, I went through my shit too. But how can you pivot from that? How can you get your ass up and say, I'm going to do better, I'm going to move forward? If you're finding distractions in this very moment, let's say you're at home right now, you don't have a job, you're not, you know, you don't have a significant other, or you're with a significant other and that person's treating you like shit. Like, what can you say that I can learn from all the shit that's happening around the world right now that I can pivot from and say, nah, I'm gonna come out of this whole pandemic, I'm gonna come out a stronger and better version of myself, right? By facing your inner demons, facing the shit that you've been through, facing those things and just not finding distractions to drown it out, right? And really look in the mirror and work on yourself, so then you can evolve better things to come your way. Because at the end of the day, you guys, you are a reflection of your environment. You are a reflection of your atmosphere. So if you want a different lifestyle, a better job, a better relationship, whatever, more money, whatever it is, it comes down to you facing your inner demons and really working on yourself and drowning out those distractions that you're constantly distracting yourself with. Whether it be overeating, whether it be staying stagnant in that bad relationship, whether it be binge watching on Netflix, whether it be, drowning yourself out with liquor or drugs or bad company. You need to take a step forward. Take a step forward and say, enough is enough. I'm done with drowning my mind out and running from my inner thoughts, running from my past, and face it forward. Face it forward and say, this shit's not gonna happen no more. I'm gonna start loving me. I'm gonna stop self-sabotaging myself. I'm gonna start loving me. I'm gonna start putting myself first by caring about my body, about caring about my health, about caring about my mindset. And the only way you could do that is to start today, start somewhere, to say enough is enough, with utilizing things to drown out my mind, drown out my reality. Because at the end of the day, that's what those things are doing. They're just drowning out your mind and your thoughts. And how you and how can you ever say that you're living a fulfilled life if you're always finding distractions to distract you from reality, right? How can you really sit there and say, yeah, I'm fully happy, I'm loving life, I love me, right? How can you really say that about yourself if you're constantly finding other things to drown yourself out, right? I know this, what I'm saying to you, there might be people out there that don't agree with it. It's okay. You can lie to yourself as much as you want. You could lie to yourself as much as you want. I know so many people, I used to say the same damn shit. I used to say, oh, okay, yeah, but I could stay home by myself. I like hanging out by myself, but at the end of the day, I'm always looking for a bottle of wine. I'm always looking and saying, oh, that's a good time, But then I feel like shit the next day. I'm hungover. Or I smoke so much weed and I feel lazy the next day, right? Or I'm not as tuned in with myself, right? Or I go hang out with a shitty crowd of people, and at the end of the day, the next day, I felt that I contained their energy, and then I'm just pissed off the next day, or frustrated, or just feeling some type of way, or they're just I attracted bad vibrations from them, just for company. Or there's ladies out there, you sleep with this guy, and the sex felt so good, everything felt so good, but then after that, you're just you feel like shit after. You're like, what the fuck? What did I do? He doesn't call me, he doesn't text me, he doesn't care about me. What the hell? Right? Again, or you're in that toxic relationship, and then you're back and forth. 1 minute you're high, 1 minute you're low, 1 minute you're high, when you're filling that void to not face reality of yourself with that person, to give you that fix of attention, right? Again, there's so many things that are drowning us, distractions that's drowning us out from us really doing the inner work, with us really facing those inner demons that are really self-sabotaging you guys. It's self-sabotaging you. If you really take a step back and look into your patterns, right? Is there shit that you're doing to drown out the noise inside of your head that's self-sabotaging you on a daily freaking basis? Again, it could be the littlest thing as overeating food, smoking too much weed, smoking a bunch of cigarettes, doing things that are harming your body, that are not doing you any justice, right? Watching too much TV that can affect your eyes long term, right? Think about it, you guys. Think about it. There's so many things that we do on a daily basis that are not that great for our body. But then we want to sit there and we want to say we love ourselves, right? That's not self-love, you guys. Self-love is when you come to the realization that you're doing shit that's not in your best interest. That you're doing shit that's harming your body, that's harming your health, your mental headspace, your body, right? Loving yourself, you come to the realization with this shit and you make a change. You level up. It's time to wake the fuck up and level up. And if you notice that you have these things that's going on around you inside of your life, then maybe you need to take a step backward from other people that you're around and say, okay, you're going to work on you, because it's time to wake up and work on you. And that's exactly what I'm freaking doing. I started seeing that shit inside of myself, that I started to work on myself at the end of the day, that I don't need company. I don't need company to make me feel whole. I'm enough. I'm enough all by myself. I can read my book. I can meditate. I can, I like drawing. I started back drawing. I like, I want to write a book eventually. So I started writing little stuff to write my book. I work on my business. There's so much shit to do. And I'm like, holy shit, where'd the weekend go? Now I'm so busy doing stuff that I love. I'm focusing on me, that I don't need that toxic stuff to drown me out. I don't need toxic people to be around. If they're not worth my energy or worth my my time, I'm not gonna be around those people. I don't need that. So I learned how to spend time with myself. Be okay with spending time with myself. That I don't need the toxic shit that's gonna affect my body long term just for that quick fix, because I want to drown out the noise. No, I face the noise head on in, right? And I deal with it. Whether maybe I write a journal or write out how I'm feeling, embrace how I'm feeling, right? Stop running, you guys. Stop making other shit out there distract you from really self-healing and really becoming the best version of yourself, right? I hope this video helped you guys so much in different ways to kind of maybe open your eyes on and look in the mirror in what are some things that you're doing that's self-sabotaging you, that's distracting you from really healing and really loving you fully. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope that the things that I talked about motivated you to help you to get up and start looking inward, start working on yourself, right? Start taking notice of these things and finding out. I talked about so many different things, so I can't give you too much tips on what you can do to work on those things, because everybody is different. All I can tell you guys is at the end of the day, it all starts with coming to the realization, right, of these distractions, and all starts with taking a step forward and saying to yourself that, damn, I need to start loving me more. That's all I could tell you guys. And if you guys have any questions, any of these things that I talked about that you guys want to know more, and maybe what are some advice that I can share with you guys to help you guys to realize these things that are affecting you and how to overcome them, I for sure can give you ideas and help you as much as possible on my knowledge on those different areas and how you can move forward and really work on those things to get better. You can DM me on my Instagram, Toronto_Tracy_Gobin. Ask me any questions. I want to help you guys. I want to see you guys win 2021 and be able to move forward and be the best version of yourselves. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I say in all my videos, each one teach one, share the love, share the knowledge. There's so many people struggling in different areas in life. This video can help so many people wake up and make a difference in their life today. So please, if you're watching this, don't just watch it. Don't just like, please share. Please leave a comment on your thoughts. Tell me how you felt about this video. I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much, you guys, and see you guys again tomorrow at 11.